Is Elio the biggest failure in Pixar's history? Hey guys, today I bring you a new video, and this time it's a new box office report. And this time it's about Elio. The movie has just been released worldwide, or almost worldwide, and its numbers are extremely bad. So let's analyze its box office performance. Because as always we start with the US box office, and it opened in the United States with only $21 million in its first weekend. That's nothing. That's even worse than the opening of the first Toy Story in 1995 and worse than Elemental 2 years ago, which at the time had the worst opening for a Pixar movie in history. And for example, Elemental didn't do so well in the United States, but it made a strong recovery thanks to its box office performance in the rest of the world. But Elio also did poorly in the rest of the world. In the rest of the world it only made $14 million, which means its current worldwide box office total is just $35 million. I mean, what it made in its entire opening weekend, which is usually when movies make the most money, was just $35 million. That's nothing, as I said. Honestly, it had a terrible opening. And yes, I know it's still facing competition from Lilo and Stitch, live action How to Train Your Dragon, live action, and 28 years later, or Exterminio also premiered, but even so, this opening is pathetic, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because honestly, it really is a very good movie. I wouldn't rank it among Pixar's best, as I've said many times, but it's a good movie and it did terribly. The only positive thing, so to speak, is that the movie didn't have such a high budget for a Pixar film, but even so, it's still an extremely high budget compared to any other animated movie, since its budget was $150 million. And yes, if we compare its box office to recent animated movies, it's below Dogman and is very similar to that of Transformers 1. And as you know, Transformers 1 was the biggest failure in the history of the Transformers. So I think Elio is going to be a Transformers 1 2.0, a movie that was very well received but ended up being a huge flop. Aside from the budget, the other positive thing for Elio is that it doesn't have any competition until The Bad Guys 2, since the Smurfs movie is also going to be a huge flop, I'm telling you that right now. So it has a little over a month to make as much at the box office as it can. So for that reason, even though it had a very bad start, I do believe that its final worldwide box office, or my prediction for its final worldwide box office, will be better than its opening. Even so, it's still going to be a huge flop, but it will be better than what its opening suggests. And I think it's gonna end up with somewhere between $150 and $200 million. At most, if word of mouth really does its job, $250 million. But even so, with that budget, even $250 million would still be a huge flop. And if it ends up with that box office, it would be on the same level as Lightyear as the biggest flop in Pixar's history. Not just the worst opening, since you can't count Turning Red, Luca, Soul, and Onward, because those didn't get theatrical releases. Or in Onward's case, it was only in theaters for a week before being pulled due to the pandemic.